Tens of millions of people set New Year's resolutions every year, and many of them give up on them within the first month.
A study by Ohio State University found that 43% of Americans abandoned their New Year's resolutions, which often include financial goals, by the end of January. Even crazier is only about 9% of Americans successfully achieve their goals at all. The main reason? They're setting their goals the wrong way. But there are methods that actually work. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to map out your entire financial journey and stick to it no matter where you are starting from. So let's dive in and start setting your goals in a way that guarantees success. So to help with that, I've brought along my AI assistant Tiara to give us the absolute best advice that AI could find. Now, this all starts by understanding your financial goals in the first place.
Think of financial goals as the GPS for your money. They're specific targets you set to give your finances direction and purpose. Without them, it's easy to get lost in the day-to-day expenses and lose sight of the bigger picture.
So now, before you skip on this part of the video, I want to emphasize that most of you watching probably don't know what a proper financial goal is.
Well, I'm offended.
Let's take a second here to talk about the difference between a vague wish and a concrete goal. A vague wish might be something like, I want to save money. But a concrete goal is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, or SMART for short. So an example here would be, I want to save $200 a month for the next year to build an emergency fund of $2,400. The difference is that the second goal has the amount that you want to save and when you want to save it by. While it seems subtle, it's actually a really big difference, because when you use this approach, you can use math to work backwards and see exactly how much you need to save each month to make it happen, which in the example here was $200. Next, let's touch on the different types of financial goals and how they fit into your overall financial plan. So this part is crucial because it'll help you realize there are layers to this goal setting thing.
Short-term goals are things you want to achieve in the near future, typically within a year.
These might include things like saving for a vacation or paying off a small debt, or even building an emergency fund. I think at any given time, all people should have between 1 or 2 of these types of goals on their mind, because usually they help you achieve the larger goals that you have in the future.
Next are medium-term goals, and these are goals you aim to accomplish in 1 to 5 years.
These could include saving for a down payment on a car, or even paying off student loans. These goals have much more of an impact and typically focus on larger dollar amounts and a bigger impact on you financially.
Lastly, we have long-term goals, which are usually 5 years or more down the road.
These are the goals that are truly going to shape your future. So they often involve the biggest financial commitments, like buying a house or saving for retirement. For instance, you might aim to save $200,000 over the next 10 years to save for retirement. Now, to be clear, these goals should be, they should be very overwhelming. And when you make them, that's completely okay. There's a reason why they take over 5 years to achieve. They're difficult to accomplish and require consistent, long-standing discipline to really work. But here's why each goal is important. Each goal plays a role in your financial journey. So short-term goals keep you motivated with quick wins. Medium-term goals help you make significant progress, and those long-term goals ensure that you're prepared for the future. Now that you know quite a bit about proper goal setting, let's move to the most important step in the whole process. And if you don't do this properly, unfortunately, you're going to fail.
Let's talk about the different strategies to achieve your financial goals. First, create a budget. It'll help you track your income and expenses, ensuring you're not spending more than you earn.
Now for this, most people think they have to grab a notebook, open up Excel, and start writing everything down. And while you can do that, I want to urge you to use an app instead. So the one that I recommend is You Need a Budget, and you can find a link to that in the description if you're interested. The reason I like apps, and I use one myself, is that they link directly to your credit card and your banks. So they force you to properly categorize every single dollar that you spend each month. What I've found is that when people write their budgets down, they forget a lot of the small expenses, but this app will not let you do that. Also, because budgets are so important, I've made another video all about them that frankly is one of the, my favorite videos that I've created, which I'll share with you later in this video, but it'll really help you understand the entire process of creating a budget in greater detail. So, stay tuned for that in a little bit.
Next, consider automating your savings. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to a savings or investment account.
When you do this, you're paying yourself first and making saving a habit without even really thinking about it. So I'm a big fan of this because when things are automated, you tend to begin to think of them as kind of a requirement as opposed to something that you're doing voluntarily. Now you can set up automated transfers like Tiara has mentioned, but if you've never tried the Acorns app before, I'd recommend that because I do use it myself and it does a great job of automating investing. It just does a great job.
Great job.
So check my link in the description of this video as well to learn more about that.
Another key strategy is to track your progress. Regularly review your goals and assess how you're doing.
What's this, you piece of shit?
Now we talked about goals earlier, but what good are the goals if you never check over them? I'd recommend that you make it a habit to check your goals every single month. So are you on track? Do you need to make adjustments? Doing this will help you stay motivated and allow you to make necessary changes along the way. So now that you have created your goals and you know of ways to stick with them, Tiara wanted to discuss how to deal with the inevitable challenges that you'll face along the way. And this part of the video is very important because it's a certainty that you'll face challenges as you focus on these goals. And in order to succeed, you have to persevere through those challenges.
One big challenge is unexpected expenses. Life happens, and sometimes you might face costs you didn't plan for, like car repairs or medical bills.
So many times in this channel, I've already explained how important an emergency fund is, and this is why. So with an emergency fund, you want to aim to save at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in a separate account. This way, you're prepared for inevitable surprises like one that we just had when our stupid old fridge broke last week and we had to replace it with a $3,000 fridge. Yes, this happened. No, I'm not thrilled about it, but our new fridge makes some craft ice, which is actually really cool, admittedly.
Another obstacle is staying motivated over time. It's easy to feel excited about your goals at first, but that enthusiasm can fade.
Isn't this the truth? So making goals is one thing, but sticking with them for weeks, months, or even years can be quite a challenge. To keep the momentum going, celebrate the small wins along the way. Make mini milestones along the way for your bigger goals and treat yourself to a nice dinner or something when you hit them. These little celebrations will make you feel like it's worth it.
Next, you might find that your goals need adjusting over time. Maybe your income changes or your priorities shift. That's okay. Financial goals aren't set in stone.
Remember earlier I mentioned that you want to review your goals regularly? So this is one of the biggest reasons. So sometimes things can happen that reduce your income and you need to adjust your goals. But let's stay optimistic here. And also remember that we have to adjust our goals when income, more income comes in. So for instance, if you want to save for an emergency fund and you got a $2,000 bonus at work, use it to boost that fund and then adjust the numbers so that you can reduce the monthly amount that you used to put towards the emergency fund and use the dollars in a different way.
Finally, don't be afraid to seek support. Talk to friends or family who are also working on their finances and partner up to help with accountability.
When it comes to financial goals, letting other people know about them is one of the best ways to stay on track. Opening yourself up like this may encourage others to get started. But more importantly, you may hear of advice from others that you can implement in your own journey that'll help you achieve your own goals faster. Speaking of goals, remember how I mentioned that I had a video that'll help you create a proper budget? Well, if that sounds like something that you'd like, you can go ahead and click right up here to watch it, or click over here to watch my most recent video instead. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please click on the like button so that YouTube will recommend it to others, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel to unlock financial success one AI chat at a time. See you next time.